Howdy, 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 howdy. Excuse me. So we're gonna actually try and paint the base for our dragon here. So this is how he's looking at the moment. We're gonna paint this base. So I'm gonna start off actually by spraying it brown, and then we'll do the rest with some dry brushing and other bits of painting on the rocks, and then finish that off with some snow effects and things like that. So without further ado, let's do just a quick bit of airbrushing. It's only going to be a touch, so shouldn't be too much of it. I'm just going to be using my Eclipse. Here we are, my airbrush, and we'll see how that goes. Alright, so first of all, I'm going to put in my flow improver and a touch of water first, and then we're going to be mixing in the paint. Okay. Oh, for God's sakes, I hate these bloody... I'm just gonna... Why am I getting these kind of messages? They're really annoying. Let's just clear the chat for a second. Oh, I can't. Ah, dang it. Oh, I'm not going to be able to remove that for the moment. Hopefully that'll just go away after some people come in. Okay. All right. Oh, thank you for following, I guess. Okay. Well, thank you, Melinda. I'll see. I'm not too bothered about getting too much on here. I'm just happy doing my thing. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So we're just mixing it in there. We're just going to mix that up. We've got a nice little brown going on. I'll give that one a spray. There we go. It's got a pretty good consistency there. It's kind of nice. Still pretty thin. That's important. Okay. Okay, so let's just pass some of the air through on this one. There we go. You can see it kind of coming through there. Okay, I'm just going to remember to record this because this is going to go for a YouTube video and another day in the future when I get around to it. But first, let's just get this whole area down here. Here's the brown. There we go. It's getting coated. Sorry you can't see it very well. There we go. Over there, some different angles, just trying to get a good coating. Make sure we're not getting any of the actual dragon. So can't see very well. be the best angle for viewing, I'm afraid. We'll hit these rocks with the brown as well. We're going to be going over them with some more rays and other things. I can clean this up with some brushwork later. I don't want to get it on the actual feet of the dragon. There. A difficult angle, but we can get in there. Ooh. Okay, generally going to get good coverage with the remaining brown that we've got in the hairbrush. Kind of gives us a good coverage there. All the next part's going to be dry brushing. Okay, coverage is looking pretty good. Get some more of the face there. Okay, I think we're looking okay. Not bad at all. Okay, so with that bit done, we're going to just clean out our airbrush now. So I'm just going to use some oil for this one. And use that brush that I was using earlier just to kind of stir it up a little bit, get rid of all of the particles, get them kind of moving around in the water, and just pour that one away. Okay, for the time being I'm not going to need the airbrush, so we're going to just switch off the actual air compressor. We'll use the remaining air that we got in the tank just to finish cleaning up. Do a little back blast and use a pipette now to get the last of that out. There we go. That kind of cleans the cup out, hopefully gets rid of anything with a large particle in it. We don't want anything with large particles running through because they're the ones that are going to clog up the actual airbrush itself. That seems pretty good. It's coming back pretty clean. We're going to just run some through and then it should be good. One last there, and then hey, look at that. It's not actually too bad. Go. You are actually pretty clean. Awesome. Much cleaner than I was expecting. Brilliant. We'll just release the gas there. I'm going to go moving over to the brush next. Okay, I'll remove this this bit of paper and we'll move on to the brushwork. try and get this looking like a snowy peak that the thing is on. The dragon is riding. Okay, airbrush finished for now. That was a nice quick job. Just kind of gets that baseline done nice and fast, so we don't have to worry too much about it for the rest. Okay, I'm just gonna put in some water into my wet palette here. Not that we're going to be using the wet palette too much at the moment. We're going to be focusing more on using some dry brushing work. Okay, I'm just going to spin you around for the moment. Okay, so next, what I use for my dry brushing is basically a makeup brush. Got a couple of makeup brushes that I bought from the 100 yen shop, and yeah, these work out great. So I'll be using these just to do some dry brushing, really. At the moment, I'll probably leave that one to dry just a little bit more, and then we should be okay. So I'm gonna go next with a bit of a burnt umber. We're going to work that one up to an ivory, and kind of make it look a bit like snow, and then eventually we'll end up putting on some of this environmental snow effect as well, just kind of laid out there. But it's kind of important, I find, to let some of the dirt and the mud kind of be showing through, so I feel like it creates a better effect that way. Rather than just going pure snow everywhere. So that's what we're kind of do. Now with these rocks as well, we could try and make them look a little bit glacial, with a little bit of blue in there. Kind of keep it fairly dark. I still like the fact that there's some brown in there, but yeah, that I think we could mess around with. All right. So let's just give this a go. We're gonna just jump in and do a little bit. So I'm gonna throw down a wee bit of this burnt umber. I'm just gonna put it on here, and then we kind of load it into the brush like that. I like to use my hand just to dabble it out. There we go. We can still have it fairly thick. You're probably not going to see it so much on this one, but I'm just kind of going to get a little bit of a texture by having this different kind of a brown. To be honest, we can actually go in fairly thick with that. As I said, you're probably not going to see it very much in the camera. It's just a little bit of a change. And yeah, we just spread that around the earth here. Yeah, there's a little bit of a change as we go into this kind of, I think that the burnt umber here has got a little bit more of a green to the brown than the leather brown that we got, which is a bit more of a reddish brown. There we go. Again, we can be fairly generous with this one. It's only a subtle difference. Be a bit more careful as we introduce the ivory. Right, okay. Now, I'm going to get actually my little mixing pot and we're gonna mix up the two together. Didn't clean this one, but it should be okay. Shouldn't mix too much of these other ones in, but we're just gonna mix the two and see how that goes. So we're gonna throw in some of that burnt umber, and we'll mix in a little bit of the ivory as well. Come on. I know you're in there. Come on out. Don't be shy. Let's try that. We'll just mix them together a bit. There we go. Okay. Again, you can be still fairly generous, as you can see, but now we can start to see a bit of a texture change as we highlight areas. There we go. Keep working up to the full ivory. We'll see how that goes. There we go. Get a bit more on there. Just kind of lightly go over, because we've got it quite thick on the brush, so we don't want to press down too hard, otherwise we're not going to be catching just the surfaces. We'll be getting too far into the grooves, and we don't want to do that, because we want that change from the dark base to the light highlight. There we go. We just go around adding all of that. In there we go. Just make sure we've got decent coverage, which I think we have. There we go. Lovely jubbly. Okay, right, we got coverage there going on. All right, next we're gonna want just some ivory, so we're going up really light now. This one we're gonna be careful not to put too much of it in on the go. So there we go, there's a bit of ivory there. Okay, I don't mind that this has already got a little bit of that previous brown in there. If it tones down the ivory just a touch, that's fine. But we're going to be going, it's going to be very snow colored now. I find pure white is not the best for snow. I prefer like an ivory. But now we go over and we get that final tone up. Hopefully, when we get to doing the glacial rocks as well, it'll start to all come together. We shall see. Oops. Okay, let's come along. Slowly but surely. tappy tap tap. The ivory in there. Again, just hitting the surfaces, bringing up that lightness a little bit. Good. There we go. Okay. Lovely jubbly. Right, we're gonna leave the dry brushing now for a bit. What we're gonna want to do is just clean that brush off a little, and then we can get on to painting the actual boulders and the rocks. There we go. Okay. Right. I'm going to need my wet palette paper, which I forgot to load in. Probably actually lose some of that water. There we go. I found it works a bit better if it's not too soaked in water. The sponge itself actually holds quite a lot, so it doesn't actually need too much water actually in with the sponge. Just kind of push out some of the air bubbles that we get forming. Doesn't need to be perfect, but it's kind of nice to get rid of air bubbles so you get the smoothest out of your wet palette. There we go. Okay, out you go, out you go, out you go. Sorry about that. Push, push, push. Okay, right. Now, with these rocks here, I think first of all what we're going to try and do is we'll build in a bit of a grey scale, and then we'll see maybe of adding maybe a bit of turquoise in there or something like that, just kind of give it a bit of a blue. But my one worry about doing that is it's maybe too reflective of the actual creature itself, but we'll see how it goes. I think keeping some of the brown in there is kind of nice. So let's just get let's just get 3 colours on our palette and we'll work with them. So we want the white, we want the black, create our grey scale, and I'm going to want I think this one here, the archaic turquoise. We're going to use these ones. So we use these 3 and we'll see if we can make up a bit of a mixture of colours and start painting these rocks. That's going to be the main thing really. So get a bit of black, a little bit of black, a little bit of white, and a little touch of turquoise in between. We'll see how this goes. There we go. Oops, sorry about that. Right. Let's get our brush there. Sorry, my water pot's going to be in a very difficult position there, so I'm going to move it over to here, just above my wet palette. There we go. That'll be easier. You get to actually see me today licking my brush a lot, which I do a lot. Okay, let's have a looky. So let's have a look here. It's gonna, I'm afraid that this thing is an absolute pain to hold, but we'll do our best. Hopefully it will follow my brush. It won't So let's just adjust the focus. To be more around there. Then it should stay on the rocks. Okay, so let's start off with getting us a little bit of a grey going on. There we go. Very dark grey. I want it a bit lighter than that. Let's get a bit of a gradient going there. There we go. So I'm just gonna mark out areas on this rock. Oh my god, it's so difficult to hold this thing. We'll just kind of do one face and we'll see how it looks. If we like it, we'll kind of continue with it. Right, I'm gonna have to get this light right out the way. Hold on a second. These wings are just so massive, man. Oh, jeez. There we go. That should be alright. And we can continue. Keep some of this brown in. We just start building up the rock area with this grey. Just with kind of, at the moment, just some random strokes. We're not being too clean or anything like that. At the moment the grey is going to be in a lot of the areas here. So we just kind of get this, if we can get this face, oops, if we can get this face here looking about right, then we'll go from there. So let's build in a little bit more white. There we go. Just keep building this in. The position of the light at the moment for my eyes is not great. It's reflecting a lot of the surface. I'm having trouble seeing what I'm actually doing. And you're having trouble seeing what I'm doing because I'm covering up the bloody screen. Just keep going up. Okay, so it's a nice bright grey. Again, sorry about the wings. It's really hard to keep this in a position where I'm not like smacking the wings into something. It's such an unwieldy creature, this thing. Yeah, the light is not being great, is it, right there? Just try. Ugh. No, not great. Oh well. Have to just work around that as best we can. I'm kind of hitting all the areas that I've already highlighted with further highlights, but again, kind of random strokes. Nothing too exacting. I want it looking a little bit weirdly textured, hopefully. I don't know if you can see that one so well, but there you go. Hey man, thank you. That's right. Yeah, I've got the video footage all there for the worm. It will be coming. It's just it's been a bit of a busy time right now at work, so it's been hard to find time to actually edit videos and things. But thank you very much. It will be coming. That's kind of my next, maybe not my next video, but the video after that. I've got a video that I want to just get out about the Torchlight Brigade models. And how they went together, just a kind of a quick one that I can throw together pretty fast. And then I want to start editing the Storeworm one. I've already written the script and stuff, I just got to record it, and it's just finding a moment to record it. I always find that's sometimes the hardest part, is finding the time to record it, because with family around and things, I am always a little bit hesitant to record. And it's sometimes slows my production down that way. Okay, but now we're going to build in some turquoise into this rock. I would say this particular model, I think, is going to be the centerpiece for me for Tag Raid. I really enjoyed painting this guy. I'm just going to do this bit. This is the bit that I don't really enjoy so much, but we'll have some. I'm trying to have some fun with doing the base here by doing something that I don't know really what I'm doing. I'm just kind of throwing paint on and seeing if it looks any good. Thank you very much. Yeah, the airbrush can be fun. I started off with, let me see. I started off with a Neo, but it broke pretty quickly as it was a new brush. So I went and bought a cheapy thing off of AliExpress, this thing. And so this actually lasted me a fair while, just for doing a lot of, basic work and things. However, obviously it's a cheapy thing, so eventually that kind of went a bit. So I don't really use that anymore. I then upgraded to the Iwata Eclipse, which is now kind of my workhorse. It works pretty well. And now over Christmas I got myself the Infinity Hallow & Sternberg Infinity for some more detail work and focused work. It's pretty fun. Been enjoying doing it. So this one was a mixture of airbrush work and then a lot of oil painting as well. The oil painting makes it look really nice. Yeah, what we're going to try and do is kind of give it a bit of a dirty rock glacial face. we can. I'm just kind of working up kind of the lighter tones into that. I don't want it to match too closely to what we've already got on his skin, otherwise it's going to just roll too closely into it. So I want it to have some separation. But yeah, this kind of thing is what I'm kind of going for. I'm going with a bit more white in there, make it nice and light. So we kind of get the grayscale down first, and then we kind of go in and get the turquoise to kind of give it a flashier look. That's the idea. Whether or not that actually is what we achieve is another question. A lot of painting is going to be experimenting and discovery, and failing a lot and working from those failures. But yeah, I think we can get something interesting going with this this look here. It might look a bit weird, but I think it will be all right. We'll put like some snow on it as well. But we've got to go all the way around and do all of these bloody rocks. So yippee! Yeah. So what is it you're painting at the moment? Are you working on any particular models? When you say a new painter, how new is that? I considered myself a new painter for years. Ah, the Infinity Operation box. Which would that be the Hakizlam and Aleph? The Assassin Baram guys, and what was it? The I always forget the Aleph's army's name. God damn it. Steel Phalanx. There's some really nice models in that set. I haven't got it myself. I was really tempted to buy it when it was coming out. But I was like, I've got already so many assassins, because that's one of my main armies. And I couldn't justify having like 8 Dale armies. However cool the new sculpts are. They look a lot more heroic than the old Dale armies, I must say. Certainly that guy holding the sword. Oh, no problem, man. Yeah, it's a tricky game to get your head around. I mucked it up a couple of times playing through, but I kind of got it down. I played a couple of the scenario games with a friend, so we didn't actually get to the Stormworm or anything yet. We just kind of had some battles with some objectives, and they played. The second mission played pretty well. The first mission is just kind of like, I punch your tag, you punch mine, we'll see who falls down, kind of thing. But the second mission with I think we were using hackers and remotes, and that one was much more, kind of felt much more tactical. like, oh, I've actually got choices here. Of what I could do with each of these units to try and either score or take objectives or just kill the enemy. So that one played out a lot better. So I'm interested in playing some more, it's just I don't know when I can get a chance to. So in the meantime, we'll paint them up. I'll paint my Torchlight Brigade, and I've also just picked up Angron, the Demon Primarch. I'm going to give that one a go. Hello there. Hello there, Gumboy. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. Oh, welcome everyone from Kick. Thank you very much. So, no, they're part of the campaign book. So we did the first 2 scenarios from the campaign. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I want to do some more of that. And then, like, your tags will improve and grow as well as you go, which is pretty cool. Welcome everyone from Kick. Let me just check your chat. Ugh. I missed a bunch of your stuff there. Oh, thank you, What Eye, for jumping in and raiding our teeny tiny little stream. Oh, thank you very much, What Eye. You take care. Thank you for just popping in and dropping your people off. That's absolutely awesome. Thank you very much for the follows, everyone. That's absolutely great. Yippee! It's not actually kicking off my alerts. I don't know why, but anyway, thank you very much for the follows. That's awesome. But yeah, we're working on a dragon today. The dragon is more or less finished, but the base is what we're working on right now. Hey, welcome to the zombie horde. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you very much for the follow there. $. Zombie horde award. Thank you very much. You just left Japan. Haha, nice. Where did you go? Where were you in there? Am I Russian? No, I'm not Russian. I'm British. Oh, right, cool. Thank you very much. All right, thank you very much for switching over and following on Twitch as well. It's funny, I'll usually like get... There's no point having a face cam when I've got a freaking wing that's just blocking me. Oh, that's nice. Yes. You subscribe. Thank you so much. You absolute legend. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, I don't have very much. If you want, you can join the Discord as well. We kind of post our stuff on Discord. A few of the viewers jump on and do share their work, and usually you're just sharing work and things like that. I'm trying to also, for subscribers, every so often do something special for subscribers, but I'm really bad at keeping up with that, with everything else that goes on as well, and living a life with the family and everything like that. So, meh. Thank you, Buttercup. Yeah, I'm really happy with how the dragon's coming out. It's absolutely mahoosive though, and it just smashes into everything on my table here as I move it around. We're just working on the rocks now. We're trying to go for this kind of like weird glacier look. It's coming out a little bit like a Van Gogh painting down here, so it's not quite what I was going for, but we're just experimenting and seeing what happens. I just kind of went in with without a game plan for these rocks. I've been kind of putting them off for a while because I was like, okay, I did the dragon. Dragon's looking good. I don't want to touch the scenery bits around the side because I'll probably screw everything up. But today's the day. We're gonna smash it. Thank you again for the follow. That's absolutely awesome. You legends. So yeah, what we're doing is we're just kind of like doing some random little highlights here and there for the rocks. Kind of not anywhere in particular, but just kind of catching like edges and things and just kind of creating kind of, I'm hoping like a rocky texture. But then we're kind of bringing in the turquoise to make it look a little bit like there's ice as well. We might hit it with some snow effect as well at the end. We're going to be hitting everywhere with some snow. So I'm just going to do one face at a time, just see how it goes as I go, and hopefully it'll all tie in together at the end. I glued in the end. Man, I was trying to like do magnets and things so I could actually take the things apart, and I was trying to do pinning as well. It just wasn't working, so I went screw it and just stuck the wings on. The worm actually is stuck with some magnets just supporting it so it holds in place whilst I'm playing, but this thing was just like an absolute pain. When it came to painting it, I was just like, screw it, I'm just sticking this thing together, and it's just going to be a piece that I display. So I better do a good job with painting it. So I'm hoping it's a good job, kind of thing. I followed a lot of the approach to painting by Marcus. Is it not Marcus? Marco Frizzoni, using a mixture of lots of inks and oil paints to create a very vibrant kind of style that has a lot of blending going on. And yeah, I was really happy with the result. It's obviously nowhere near the level of Marco Frizzoni, but he's good though. I like it. I think it's pretty nice. Let's just mix that one in there. A little bit darker. So now I'm going to hit it with a little bit of turquoise. We just kind of washed out the turquoise a little bit so that it's a little bit darker. Not darker, a bit more muted. Don't want it to be too strong. But I actually do need it to be a little bit more turquoise in there. Maybe that. There we go. Just to match the other side there. So we're just using three colors. We're using black, white, and turquoise. And that's all we're doing on this after giving it a leather brown base coat with the airbrush. And yeah, it's coming along okay. I think it's all right. Keep some of that brown in there just to kind of, again, kind of give it texture. But it's a bit of just a slow process, this one, as we just kind of go over and do all these kind of random brush strokes. It's like, it doesn't take too long, but it's still more time than if I was just to dry brush it or something like that. But I kind of like having a more controlled approach to my painting than dry brushing. Dry brushing, I sometimes feel like it's up to the gods. It comes out correct. And I tend to like to be a little bit more in control. So I do a lot more kind of layering and things. It's the same reason I don't use washes. Generally like to control where my paints are going as best as possible, even though it sometimes causes my style to have rather heavy brush strokes to be quite visible in my work. But in its own way, it's kind of a style, I guess. You know, your own individual way of painting comes out sometimes in your models, and that's kind of nice. If everyone's was the same, it would be boring. It up a bit. For the body, so the way this went was it started off with a kind of a muted purple base. Like everything was done a muted purple, and that was kind of like the central color. And then we would work around the color wheel in two different directions a little bit. So we would work then around kind of going from those purples into the blues into the green for a lot of the scales and skin here. However, for the wings, we moved into more reds and oranges, but very, very muted oranges, very muted oranges. Moved around into that. So centrally, everything was purple, and we just kind of moved around the color wheel in both directions for the other areas and how we highlighted it and moved up. Then to tie it all back in again, gave like the wings a purple wash, like a magenta wash, and a blue wash on here. That would be an oil wash, not like an acrylic wash. So they're kind of different. They're really good for tying stuff in together. It looks lovely when you do oil washes. Big fan of oil washes now. Don't do it for a lot of miniatures, but for like special miniatures and things, or a certain theme or something like that, they're really handy. I did a whole orc army using like just a black oil wash over my paint jobs, and it just sped up a lot of my work and made it look professional, even though I don't think it was. But yeah, that's kind of how we did it. I literally followed a lot of Marco Frizzoni's style for the Age of Sigmar dragon that he did, the blue dragon. So if you want to see someone do it better than me, then check out his video. It's really good. Yes, yeah. I went back in and I just did. What I did was I just added on some very light highlights on the ends of each of these, just to kind of give them an extra bit of pop. Same on the shoulders here to try and make the shoulders pop, and obviously for the face as well is where I put a little bit more time in with some highlights and things, with the acrylic highlights. Yeah, it was a fun process though. This one was just like a lot of fun right from beginning to end, because there was just so many different techniques being used. It was just so interesting. It was like nothing really got boring or anything. Okay, so you can see now we've got these two faces of the rock kind of done. You can kind of see how that's going to be looking across the whole model there. Yes, yes you will. Here's my advice. Just take it one model at a time, and what I would also suggest is the way I improved, or at least my kind of method of improving, was like I would see a technique and go, I want to learn that technique, and so all my models would be me using that one technique over and over again until I felt like I kind of got it. And that's kind of how I got where I got to. When my first models, I don't know if I've got any of my first ever models lying around that I painted, but they're really bad, like terrible. All my 40k stuff is laughably bad, because I was just painting to get stuff on the table and play with it. And then once I had a child, I realized I couldn't really play as much as I wanted to, so I switched into going, well, I'm gonna move into more of the painting side of the hobby. So it was just a focus of like, okay, getting better. How do I get better? And so I just focused on one technique at a time. First thing you should be doing is just good brush control, working on placing the brush and getting used to how the paint moves with the brush, and figuring out how like how much water you add to certain paints and things. There's no one answer or anything like that for all paint and things. Everything has its own kind of texture, and you just got to kind of feel it out and find out what works for you. I found anyway, and still learning and things, and experimenting with different paints from time to time has been kind of fun. Yeah, he's all good. Just check, make sure my thing is still recording. Good, I am still recording. I always worry that when I'm recording the video that I run out of space on my hard drive and it's just not recording anymore, and I'll be like, oh no. But yeah, you definitely get there. I'm by no means a great painter or anything, just enjoy it, and I want to be great, and I'm always in awe of great painters, and I'm like one day. And when I started getting into painting and doing a lot of this kind of painting, I never imagined that I would be able to paint like this. I would see stuff like this and go, oh, I could never do that. But, you know, God knows how many hundreds of miniatures later, I'm at least getting at this level, and I'm like, okay, well, let's see if we can go a little higher then. Let's just keep on going, let's keep going. See where we can get to. I'm doing commissions now. It's kind of nice. So, you know, people obviously do like my work. They'll ask me to paint stuff for them for a little bit of money. Nothing crazy, but it's still good. And I can sometimes sell painted work on not auction sites, but kind of like the thrift store sites, for a little bit of profit of what I've actually paid for the model. Again, nothing amazing, but it's just kind of nice that, oh yeah, my stuff is good enough to be able to sell, which is a very nice feeling. And yeah, this is like by far the best community as well. Absolutely love the painting community. They're all very supportive, and everyone remembers when they were crap, so no one kind of judges anyone at any level generally. I don't really meet many people that have been negative in the hobby space for this. It's different for the actual games, you know, like you always get a few people who take that one too seriously. Oh yes. No, thankfully I've not done it with oil paints, but there are a few acrylics that taste like crap. But yeah, I'm a massive brush licker. I'm a connoisseur of the brush. Whatever you do not lick typhus corrosion. That's nasty. Oil paint's not going to be good, I don't think. Not really good for you either. I kind of get away with the acrylics because they're kind of like non-toxic acrylics. I still don't think they're going to be great for you, but it's certainly got no solvents in them or anything like that. Not the ones I use. If I was using Tamiya, then there'll be solvents in there, and that'd be nasty. Probably get a bit lightheaded off of them, I guess. But yeah, I am a bit of a brush licker. I find that's what helps me get the right moisture levels onto my brush that I'm comfortable with. It's weird. But normally I don't have the camera on me. Today I have, because I had nowhere else to put the camera. Usually it's my wet palette, but this thing is so big, I can't have a camera over my wet palette because I'll be smacking it all the time with the bloody wings of this thing. To be honest, it's hard to show you anything because I keep covering up the camera with the wings. So I keep looking up and going, oh god damn it, the wings are in the way again. But yeah, there's some funky flavors out there with the paints. I'm trying to remember, there's one that was really nasty. I can't remember what it was though. But yeah, there's some funky flavors out there. All right. Let's do that. I can see it better then. You might not be able to, I don't know, but I will be able to see it better. Although the light is shining in the side of my eyes. Half blind me, but I can actually see the rocks a bit more. There's less shine, less reflection off the rocks. So yeah, I'm just kind of hitting it randomly. There's literally no real rhyme or reason of how I'm doing these. Just kind of following contours of the rocks to kind of exaggerate those. And we just keep moving that way. Like that. Get a bit more white. This will be the final highlight for the grayscale. And then we hit it with the turquoise. Alright, I can imagine. Oh yeah. I don't use washes very much at all. Unless it's an oil wash. But yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I wouldn't lick Nuln oil, for example. Imagine people that spill it. With that whole meme. Wouldn't be surprised if someone's out there with a straw just like slurping it up. No, no. Bet. Oh my god. This angle is so difficult to try and show you. Maybe if I actually angle the camera towards my eye level. Let's try that. But this is going to get in my way now. Ugh. Hold on a second. I'm going to retighten this. Let's see if that's going to be a bit better. Right, now we can actually maybe go into autofocus a little bit. There we go. Readjust my light here as well. Okay. Okay. Maybe this is easier. It's going to be a bit tricky for me to paint because, to be honest, I've now got a camera right in front of my face. Hi. As you can kind of see there. But hopefully you can actually see what I'm doing a bit better. So now we're going to be mixing in the a bit of black, a bit of turquoise, a bit of white. turquoise. There we go. I'm going to go and do this initial turquoise here. Now I'm going to be smacking the camera with the wings. Let's see how this goes. Again, nothing too thought out or anything, just kind of slapping. And then we're going to just mix in a bit of that white again, go a little bit lighter. Very Caribbean-esque music. Wasn't quite expecting this to be appearing on my music list. I thought I put in for synthwave, but oh well. Maybe this is the new form of synthwave. Okay. Well, it's hard to try and actually get the consistency right across the whole thing, I think, to make sure I'm getting the same kind of turquoises and things like that. I think I'm kind of mucking that up a little bit, but yeah. Meh. I think it'll be okay. I'll just hit it with another pass of very close to white, but with a touch of the turquoise built in. Okay, I think that's looking okay. We've got like a rock that's starting to look like, I guess, a rock. Yeah. That's what it's looking like. We might actually build in some of the blue into the base a little bit more. That might be something we can do later as well. Okay, let's do that side of the rock as well. It's going to be a bit difficult to show this one, and it's going to be a bit difficult to do this one, but we'll give it a go. So first we're going with the grayscale. My thumb's getting, my fingers are getting all shaky trying to actually hold this thing. but we'll keep it going. Sorry, you're going to just get blinded in the top of my actual face cam, which is not really a face cam right now, it's just like bright light. Again, it's very hard to see and do this particular part, so I'm just kind of, which also means that it's probably a part that people aren't going to see so well, so as long as we kind of get the general effect going, we should be okay. Ah! That surprised me. My light fell down. Oh god. Got it precariously kind of stuck on my my camera stand. Okay, I can see okay here. This is proving to be a little challenging, trying to get into the old nooks and crannies. But we shall get there. We shall prevail. Right, a little bit more white in there. Mix that one in. So we've got a nice light grey. We start popping this one in. Building up that texture of colour from light to dark. Keeping in the brown as well. And then when we add the turquoise, kind of gives it a bit more of that glacial look. What time am I on at the moment? Oh, it's 11:30 here. He's getting late. There we go. We'll go up a little bit more. We'll go a little bit more with the white. Really like these AK paints, they're really nice. Wish they were easier to get hold of in Japan, which they're not. Okay, I think it's time to now hit it with the turquoise. And we'll try and blend it in with the rest of this rock. Get in a bit of black, get in a bit of white, and turquoise. Okay, just tone down that turquoise a bit, mute it a little bit, but still keep it fairly strong for this first pass. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna slapping it in there. Mix in a bit of the white. We're gonna still keep the muted tone, but make it a little paler, a bit lighter. That will blend a little bit with the grayscale that we've already got in underneath, so that when it hits, it kind of blends that darker turquoise in to the grayscale that we've got there as well. Then we're going to have to work up. Right, it's starting to look like it's blending in a little bit, but we still got to go a little bit lighter as well. Yes, I live in Japan. I've been living here a long time. Many, many years. Yeah. I live in Osaka, the north of Osaka. There's not really an infinity scene in Osaka, I'm afraid, so I don't get to play very much. But I'm starting to go to Osaka more to go and see one of my friends who he actually runs a YouTube channel as well called Upturn Table, and he's very prolific with the stuff he puts out there. We got to just play test actually the other day, just 2 days ago. We got to play test Epic Warpath, the new game from Mantic that they had a Kickstarter for. Yeah, it was alright. We've just played with basically like cut MDF discs for the units with stickers for labels. And it worked pretty well actually. So I was like, oh, I don't actually need the miniatures. But no, it seemed like a pretty fun game. It's pretty killy, I found. But yeah, that was alright. But yeah, I want to play more Infinity if I can, but it's just no one to play. So I end up playing online instead, using Tabletop Simulator. So I've loaded up a bunch of my models into Tabletop Simulator, actually 3D scan them and stuff. That's kind of cool. Oh, thank you very much, AAA25. Yeah, I've been in Japan a long time now. And I wish my Japanese was better, but that's because I don't study. I just rely on what I can to communicate with my family. And when I needed to go out and things and meet new people. I'll explain how to play a board game. But being a painter, I'm a bit of an introvert, to be honest, so I don't really go out very much. just a little bit of an introvert. I'm quite happy sitting in my little cave, painting little models. There we go. Oh, bonk. There we go. Okay, so kind of getting one rock done then. Yeah, more than 10 years. So the video from Corvus Belli, or what was the video from Corvus Belli? Yeah, oh, I'm gonna put that down for a minute. Oh, my fingers. But yeah, I've been here for, say, 15 years. 15年間ぐらい住んでる。長いですよ。長すぎる。There's a little bit of Japanese for you there. Oh, right, the was that the demo game? A demo game of Infinity or of Tag Raid or? But yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just a little bit of Japanese, you know. I can speak quite naturally in conversation, as long as it's kind of casual conversation. If it gets into too many detailed vocabulary, I'm pretty bad. To be honest, there's a few moments with my wife where I kind of glaze over when she's telling me stuff. I'm just kind of like, okay, no, this is the getting. I'm a little bit lost here, kind of thing. That will happen from time to time, but yeah, it's kanji as well. It gets me. I'm really bad. I haven't studied enough kanji, so I don't read too good. But yeah, it's all good fun. Right now. It's taken me how long are we going? An hour and a half. I've got one rock done. Yay me. Okay, that's gonna be fun. So, right, we've got one rock done. I'm probably gonna have to leave it at that. I've got an early start tomorrow for work. But I really appreciate everyone that's popped in and said hello and joined, and thank you very much again for a big thank you to Chris Ward for the subscribing as well. Thank you so much, and well, take later, man. This is cool. Hey, and thank you very much for the follow there, Cordell. That's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I'm going to be back on. I hope to be back on Thursday. These past few weeks have been pretty hectic and left me pretty knackered as we're kind of rounding off the end of the year for our school, end of the school year. So I hopefully will be on Thursday, but we'll see. Sometimes I'm just like, okay, I need a day off. Otherwise, I should be back on Saturday as well. I may see about getting a start on some of those whatchamacallit models. These guys, the Torchlight Brigade. These kind of fun-looking characters. I think that would be kind of cool to do. Okay, same time as this. So I'm not sure. It depends where you are, but. Whatever time this is, but 2 hours before, or 1 hour and a half hours before this time, that's when I usually get on. So for me, it's 10 p.m. JST, Japanese Standard Time. But for wherever you are, it's generally pretty early in the morning for America, and just gone midday in Europe. It's usually roughly the times that I'm on. It's not always the most convenient times for everyone, but that's what it is because I'm stuck in Japan. Okay, and it's the only time I get to really do this stuff. So yeah, but thank you very much for joining. It was an absolute pleasure, and we'll catch you later. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.